We're live. We're live.
We're live.
We're downstairs. We're looking at the stonefly. A little premature, so we're gonna go back up.
It's all right. I'll just give you a little teaser, little taste,
a teaser for you.
little
Mr.
taste of
Sean
what's
Mooney.
gonna happen.
A teaser.
So, Friday Night Flies once again, May 2nd or so, something like that.
It is the 2nd of May.
I think it is.
In the year of 2014.
Yeah. So, fishing. That's what we like doing. That's what we're doing. Tying some flies. I got a stonefly for you. This is, if you watched earlier, I did a little pull of the river, and I got myself a mayfly.
You know what? I can't wait until Mr. Mooney sees that pattern. I can't believe he hasn't said something about it.
Yeah,
already.
you should check that out.
I'm slightly disappointed. I'm going to tell you that right now, Mr. Mooney.
Yeah, go back and check out the mayfly replica that I did from the Birkenhead River. So
the very first tie of the night.
First one of the night.
You better go and watch it.
What we're going to be tying next is a Stonefly Nymph. It's another replica pattern that I tied directly from a stonefly that I pulled out of the Lillooet River. I also have one for the Birkenhead River, but we'll do that one another night. They're a little bit different nymphs between the two river systems.
You know what? They're really close.
One's yellow, bright green, and
but you know, it comes
one's
with the
brown
season,
and green.
I've seen all three in the Burke.
There you go.
I've seen all three.
Yeah, their profiles were a little bit different, so it was kind of neat. I pulled out two different, same bug, but very different looking. So tonight we're doing the one for the Lillooet River, or like Brad said, they're in all the river systems. They're all kind of intertwined, but this is one that I found there. So we're going to do it. It's a heavy weighted one, fished on a, you know what, I was fishing this one with my spey on a sinking line. Had some good chances with it. You'll see once we go down that this fly is missing an antenna, and that's because I have used this exact fly on the river myself. So it got beat up a little bit, and that's why I kind of got retired to my fly box of tying stuff. Basically, I had to throw it back in there so I can make some more. So if we go down, we'll give you a little spin of the fly, and then we'll show you how to make this. It is a quite labor-intensive fly. It goes by pretty quickly.
Mr. Mooney's here.
Mr. Mooney! Just so you know,
good
Mr.
evening,
Mooney,
Mr. Mooney.
you are going to get use of your Swanendas. I hope I pronounced that properly. I'm sure Sean will tell me if I didn't.
It's true.
But we are using this this product for this fly, and I know you have it.
That's right, my friend.
So this one's for you, man. So yeah, like we said, we have all the attributes of a stonefly. You got the forked tail. It did have a forked antenna. This one has some rubber legs, and we got the shell backing on it, which is usually by 3, not usually, always, and nice fat body on her. So we're gonna get right to it.
Sean says that there seems to be quite a delay. Well, hey, man, you're in Maine, are you not? We're in Canada, buddy. We're in the other side of the country.
There's a bit of a difference.
Yeah, it's got to render it. It's got to get there. Anyhow, buddy, enjoy the show.
Thanks for joining us. Okay, since this was a spur-of-the-moment tie, I didn't get the right thread on, but...
Is that the one you were looking for down there?
Nope, that's the one I was trying to get rid of.
Okay,
so
you got rid of it.
I got rid of it. So I'm using some dark brown uni thread.
Is that your wife?
Probably.
Yeah.
Phone's vibrating. When are you coming home? Never!
We're tying flies.
Time flies!
We're in the fishing zone.
Until my fingers bleed.
Yeah.
Alright, so what hook do I have today? I have a size 10 curved hook from Daiichi, and I'm using a 532 copper bead. It is important to have a pretty big copper bead on this one. We want these stoneflies to get down to the bottom. And I got some 0.2 or 0.02 lead, which I'm going to wrap on right behind this bead. So I'm going to get it on, shove it forward, and I don't want to do too much, so I'm looking to cover about a quarter. Sorry about my fingers in the way there, guys, but it's spinning on me. There we go. Quarter of my shank. So basically I'm building up the portion, oh come on, cooperate. Building up the portion where the shell back is all going to be placed. And I'm going to start with my uni thread right behind, tie it on. I got a little piece of my lead sticking up. Uni thread's pretty delicate, so I don't want that to catch and break me off. So I'm just going to push down with my nail, and then I'm going to really make sure that I secure this lead behind the bead. So I'm going to get it all covered up. Okay, so we got that lead wrapped in there nice and tightly. I'm going to work this thread right back around this curved shank to about halfway past my hook point. Then I'm going to start building in all my base layers. So I'm starting off with some copper wire size BR, so this is like ultrafine wire. And I want to tie it in. Actually, the copper wire, I'm going to, you can bring it up, make this a lot easier. So the copper wire I'm going to put on top of my lead wraps. If you guys can see that. So it's on top of my lead wraps. This is going to help you, oh come on, cooperate. It helps you to build in the taper between where your lead weight is and the skinny hook shank. So let's get that in securely before I pull on it. There we go. Keep this wire going right along the top of the hook. There we go. Put it in your material holder. Next we're going to tie in this swan and daz. So this is color 17, which is this nice brown color. If you're using a different material, I also have what is it called? It's like a midge nylon wrap. If you're using that, it's pretty much the same stuff. If you're using that, it is a medium size, not the large, not the midge size. And I'm tying that tip in right, I'm buttoning it right up behind my lead. And
I'm going to just answer a question from
yeah,
somebody
answer
here.
some questions. Go for it.
Yeah, that was one hell of a hockey game there, Mr. Mooney. Canadians, I don't know if they deserved that game, but their goaltender definitely stood on their head. Better luck next game. And then he's got, he says, close enough. The ending is more like days, but close enough.
It does says days, Sue.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was foreign. So
yeah, thanks for the
I
correction.
put a little Swedish spin on it for myself.
The days. That stuff sure looks good on Stoneflies. We agree with you there, and that's kind of where we're taking it.
All right, so we got that in. So next thing that we're going to be doing is building up this profile. We're going to be evening off our taper between the lead wraps, which kind of takes a little bit of time, so bear with me here. I'm probably not going to spend as much time as I normally do to do this, just to save us some time on camera.
We should share a couple more pictures of the cutties that we've been catching on the Burke, eh?
Yeah, they got some nice ones.
You know what?
Those guys did.
Scott or Sean, while you're here, I got to show you some of the fish we've been nailing on the Burke. The other Scott that ties flies with us, he's already gone home, but he was out yesterday or 2 days ago while the water was still low. And I'm going to show you a quick.
I did forget.
Oh, you
Yeah, go for
things?
it. Forgot to put the antennas in on my
You're kidding
fly.
me.
No.
Oh boy. Anyhow, so we're. I'm just going to show Sean while you're in there. He's gonna do a couple fixes on this fly, but I'm going to show you what the fish are looking like that we've been catching on the river here. Screen share. We're going to go.
Oh, there's no fixing it. It had to go on before the bead.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So anyhow, here's the Birkenhead River. This is Merrick. Scott Holmes is one of our other in-house fly tyers, and he's showed us what the river's holding. I was out 2 or 3 days prior to this, and those pictures are on my website on Friday Night Flies or on permanentfishfinder.com under fishing report. But here's a few of the fish that they caught this weekend. Beauties, man. Absolutely smoking them. That's a sea run cutthroat. Another beautiful sea run cutthroat. River's just steaming full of them right now. You guys definitely wouldn't enjoy it at all. Anyhow, we're going to go back to the show here and get back to tying.
Yeah, I broke off. I'm going to retie. But I think what I might do is just show everybody the important step that I missed, which won't be really hard to do. So, if anybody noticed, we did miss a crucial step in this right off the bat, and that was the antennas off the front. They need to be put on before everything. So I'll just quickly show you that, and then you can fix your fly. What a goof. What a goof.
You want to just tie quick and start?
I'm so far ahead on that one.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you how to do it. So, in the beginning, what you do is put your bead on. I'm just going to grab another thread here. What you should have done in the very beginning of it is tie your thread on behind the bead. Take some goose biots, if I can find some. So I got brown here. You tie one on one side. And
it's always the thing you forget the first go.
Well, because normally you build your flies backwards to forwards, right? So I haven't tied this one in a good... I've been holding on to this one for about 2 weeks, waiting to bring it to Friday Night Flies. But we kept running out of time.
Well,
all right.
The weather's just taking a turn for the worse here in Pemberton, so I'm not in a real big rush. Says, you know what Sean says, tie them over the bead. The fish won't care.
Yeah, they won't.
So either way, but this is the one step that we missed.
Which I am going to do on the one that we're currently doing. But basically, you tie them on first. Give yourself a little half hitch. You don't need a whip finish because the bead's going to be covering it all. Boom, boom. That's on. Slide your bead back up over the front.
Roll it over so we see what it looks like. Okay.
So you got the split.
That's the part that we missed.
That's the one step that I missed. And then you continue by putting your lead on and everything else.
Okay, we're going to ask this one question. Yeah, you definitely missed Kara tonight, but you can watch her show live on FridayNightFlies.com. I think she was the third show tonight.
Yep. So, now that we're back to this one, we're going to, so we got our base materials in, we got our lead on, we got wrapped in, we got our ribbing, we got our body material, we're going to put in the tail, and why I put in the tail after those two materials is because the stoneflies do have a quite a broad butt, and this really helps to accentuate that and to keep the tail separated. They do have quite a long tail, so I'm looking for it to be about the length of the hook shank up to the bead. So I'm just going to measure that out. And I put one on one side. And I'm going to tie the other one on the other side, the same length. Just a little pinch and tie.
Oh yeah.
And I'm going to wrap this right back to where my other materials are tied in. Okay, get rid of our tags. So you can see they're quite splayed, which is what you want. And then I usually spend a little bit of time fattening up this body.
So
with my thread.
he's saying that the number 17 Swan and Days is his favorite color.
It's really nice. Like, it's brown, translucent. So why I liked it for this one is I have a darker thread underneath and then the lighter thing on top, so it gives the fly dimension.
It's almost like you can look through it.
Yeah,
like
it's giving the fly dimension.
Really good. Yeah, that's one of my favorites too.
And
well, depending on the season too.
As well as working with this material, you got to make sure, I didn't mention it, that you tie it in the right way. So the bottom of it's flat and then it curves over. So when you're tying it in originally, you want to tie it in upside down so that when you wrap around, that curve is on the top, not the flat.
Not the flat, you got her.
So now that I got my tail in, I take my Swan and Days.
Swan and Days.
And I'm going to wrap up the body.
Man, that stuff looks good on the body, doesn't it?
Now don't pull it too tight because you will stretch it out and you'll lose the segmentation that it creates. So I'm just loosely wrapping it over. And I'm going to bring it up right to where my lead has finished. So it's just past half. So I guess if you're looking at it in thirds, it's 2/3 of the way up, and I'm leaving 1/3 bare for the abdomen, or the thorax, sorry.
Mr. Mooney says here, when he ties in his stoneflies himself, he likes to double up the biots so that if one gets broken off, another one's slightly shorter underneath.
You know what? That's a really good idea because they do sandwich together. Like, you wouldn't even notice that you had two on there. Yeah. So that's a very good tip, Mr. Mooney. I like that tip. I'm going to try that. I'm going to start doing that next time.
Yeah.
All right. So we got the Swan and Days wrapped in. Sorry, I just mess around with this. There we go. Next, I'm just going to follow that segmentation up with the copper wire. So I'm just following the exact same path that I did. Means the wire will sit in there nicely. Right up to there. And we're going to tie that off.
He's got some really useful tricks here.
I would love to get him up here.
Yeah, Mr. Mooney says if you want to make it last, soak it in warm water and it will stretch more for smaller flies. That makes a lot of sense.
Oh, the Swan and Days?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Useful.
Like, it does stretch really easily, but
if you warm it up, I can see it working.
Yeah. Then you can take the same width and make it for a stonefly or a midge or...
Exactly. You could make it a lot smaller.
Hell yeah. Okay, so we got that in. Next is our shell backing material. So I got some scud back here and a dark olive. I'm going to nip myself off a workable piece. About 2 inches or 1.5 inches, just so I can...
What is it that you got there?
It's scud back. So it's a real thin, stretchy material. And we're going to pinch it on and get it squared right in the middle. It's real important that you get it tied in the middle, otherwise your wing case just does not look right. Alright, so that's tied in nice. Just keep it off to the back. What am I looking for? My dubbing. UV dubbing's coming in next in olive. So we'll do a little bit of a dub base. Why do the, and then we're going to do the rubber legs. I do the dub base first, so that my legs don't, when I tie them in, my legs don't just come straight out the side. It helps to keep them spread out.
Yeah. Spread legs are happy legs.
For more applications than just fly tying.
That's definitely true.
I'm going to shorten this up. Okay, so
We call it the butterfly maneuver. Spread legs.
alright, so I got some dubbing in, a couple nice wraps. I got some orange speckled
Silly legs.
city legs here. So these happen to be the square ones. I've done some with the round legs, and I like the round legs a lot better. They're a little stiffer.
I don't know. I'm the opposite. I like the square myself.
Yeah?
Yeah, they sit a little bit more true. Like the round legs, I find are a little too rigid.
A little stiff.
Yeah, a little rigid.
So I got one in. I'll get the other one in. And just trim those front ones a little shorter. There we go. I like that. Now I'm not going to pull, because as soon as I pull, then I'm going to make those legs come together way too much. You want it in there. There we go. Maybe one more little wrap. And there we go. Alright. Now I gotta remember how I built all this. So, legs, yeah. This is the little bit of math here. Okay, so we got our legs in. We're gonna take our back, we're gonna just fold it over itself. So the first one that you're gonna be doing is a little bit longer than the other ones. It's the last wing underneath. So it's gonna do one nice wrap in there, so you can see how it's folded over in a loop. So I'm going to go one in front, and I'm going to go one in back or two in back, and then this is where I need to put just a little spot of dubbing. When I say little, I mean little. Just enough to get around there and fill it up.
Yeah, spread them legs.
And then we're going to do this little loop over again. So you see what I'm doing? I'm folding it back over itself. Make the second one a little bit shorter than the first. You can see that on there?
Oh, definitely can see it, man.
Okay.
High def. We're on it.
Pinch it down with your thumb.
It says, here, we're going to ask another question here. Sean says, take your dubbing in smaller pieces and spin it into both directions quickly. To start and then choose a direction, and then dubbing is much more easier to control. Much easier controlled that way. That is another helpful hinter for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. So we got one loop behind, one in front, and then in between each one of these loops, I'm just going to be putting in a little bit more dubbing. And I'm not making this dubbing too tight. Alright, so this last one I'm going to do just a couple more and one final wrap, but first, before I do that wrap, I want to get my thread right behind my bead in front of those legs. So one little last shell casing. Oh, come on. Oop, catch that last one right behind the bead head.
Sorry, that looks good.
Pull your legs back. Secure off that scud back. Make sure they're all straight before you go any forward anymore. Pull it tight, nip it off, and then all we're going to do is whip finish this.
Did one of the loops fall flat or something there?
Yeah, just because I've been pinching it.
Oh.
It'll come up. Just, I think, oop, 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 oop. You gotta be careful not to pull on them. What am I looking for?
My bumpkin?
Yep.
Woodkin?
Your bumpkin. So if you pull on the loops, then they'll come undone.
Do just exactly what happened there.
Yep. So it's all right. I want them to be a little bit accentuated. I'm trying to pull this one without undoing my tie out. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. So it's been a while since I've tied this one, so those loops might be a tad on the large side, but So when you're experimenting with it, then the next one, if I was tying it again, I would know, okay, just make them a little smaller.
Okay, so Sean says here that he says, so far an excellent tie with the wing buds so far there. The only thing I would do differently is cut V into the wings at the end of the fly. They will be all line up. They will all line up. That way, if you do it last, that's a good hit. So you just cut a V in it. That's it. And then they all line up perfectly when you do that.
Oh, yeah, when you tie it in. But yeah, you're using so much that it's hard to get the full V. That does work if I was using the
and then you know what? Before you did
the material that I was using before. Well, you still want me to do a little fix? So if you miss the buyouts in the front, like Sean said, you can just tie them right on top of your bead head. I like them in front of the bead head. Oh, I've already nipped off. That's alright. I can still do that. So if you need to tie on in a small space, that's how you do it. One loop, wrap your thing around, wrap that tag end around the thread, and then secure that in. So if you did forget your buyouts, you can tie them in afterwards, right on top of your bead.
You know, the more I think of it, I see more tied that way than underneath the bead.
So when you do that, make sure you don't catch your legs in there while you're doing it. Give yourself a nice little collar. If you've done too much, you put a little bit of dubbing in there.
God, that thing almost looks too pretty to fish with.
A little half hitch in there. And if you just hit that with some head cement, then she's good to
Okay,
go.
roll it over. Let's have a good look at this guy. And that thing is dead sexy.
Yeah. So the profile that you're looking for is like from the bottom and the side. You're not really going to see the top too much, but from the side angle, you're going to see that segmentation.
I mean,
it's going to trap some air.
Too much justice seeing it the way it is right here without the actual Stonefly Nymph that we got from the Lillooet River.
Yeah, it was like
them side by side, man. You wouldn't tell the difference.
Same profile, same size, same shape. That's a big key to the stone nymphs, is that their tails, they don't come out from the middle and split. It's like they're coming right off the side.
Sean says that you can bring them down by making a final wrap at the end of the eye and tie off.
Yeah, if you bring it over the bead.
Yeah. Anyhow, let's go up stop. We'll sign out. Sean, this is our last show tonight. We got to get home to our lovely wives and families.
Yeah, that's why I tied them before the bead usually.
Anyhow, Scotty, we're up top.
Oh, hey. So thanks for joining us again for another week. Of course, we'll be back next week. It's FridayNightFlies.com. Check us out. If you want to go fishing in the Pemberton area, by all means, check out Pemberton Fish Finder and book yourself a tour.
PembertonFishFinder.com.
Thanks for joining tonight.
Guides up
Good
here
hearing from you, Sean. It's been a while. We like having you on the show. And whenever things permit it, we'd love to have you out here.
Yeah, no kidding, man. Get your butt out west here, northwest. We'll take you fishing. We'll get your butt in the chair there with Scotty. You can tie us up one of your favorite stoneflies or patterns. I'm sure you've got a few doozers. I'd love to see them.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you get yourself some good high-speed internet, we could even just do a show through the internet. Maybe you can tie it back home, and we'll broadcast it live here.
Yeah.
Across the world. That's the nice thing about this.
It is.
We got some people that like to tie flies, man. Tie them. We'll do it in the chat room.
Sounds good.
Anyhow, we're signing out.
Thanks for joining. Next time.
Tight lines and wet nets.
Wet nets.